part of my charm, y'all. When you come to this class, what you see is what you get. I have never pretended to be anything than imperfect. So there's joy in coming somewhere where people don't
Mhm.
expect you to be perfect.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
let you show up and just be who you are. So I'm just being an example to y'all. That's all. But I eat chia seeds with a protein. It's not yogurt because yogurt is like sour, and I don't
Uh-huh.
like yogurt, but it's sold in the yogurt section. And but it's protein, for lack of a better word, yogurt with chia seeds, frozen strawberries, and walnuts. And those chia seeds, they get in my teeth. So if y'all ever see it looks like I have rotten teeth, it's not that, it's those chia seeds. So I'm constantly with a toothpick to after I eat them to try to get it all out. So I am recording. I'm getting us music. We are week 14, November the 25th, which absolutely just blows my mind how quick this goes. It means that we have two more classes in this 16-week series. Next week, whenever we see um, the Mackeys, Thomas and Trudy, they will be considered completers. So, like, I'm just blown away by the number of completers that we have in this class. I hope that y'all will come back in January when we start all over. Whether you come to the this class, the beginner class, that's my Tuesday classes. I have one from, no big surprise to y'all, 10 to 11, and then I have an afternoon class that's 1:30 to 2:30. If you think you may be interested in the advanced or slash exploring class, that is my Friday class. And so basically what that class does is starts about where we end in this class with our, advanced movements. You're kind of expected to know part one. That doesn't mean you know it perfectly, but you're familiar with it and you're wanting to explore it in a new way. You're wanting to get better at it. You don't want to go all the way back and start all over. I like both. I like going back and starting all over. To me, there's joy in starting all over and feeling like somewhat of an expert. Like, oh, I know commencement. And then I can do commencement and not have to go, where are my feet supposed to be? Like, not be overwhelmed by it. So there's no shame in forever staying in part one in the beginner class, in the Tuesday class. I have a lady in the afternoon class. She never wants to leave the class, and she's been going to this class for years. So, and she's happy there, and she's just fine. She's learning more and getting better. So, I hope you will join me again. I did double check with Sam last week, and we are starting on January 6th. So it's that first full week in January for the beginner class. January 6th is the Tuesday. And then that advanced class, of course, is on Friday, January 9th. And that class is from 9 to 10. So it's even earlier than this one. So, and I made it that early for my own selfish reasons. It's so that if I need to take off on a Friday, then I can, for the most part. I just have to come in for a very short time to teach my class. Most things I do, if I'm going to leave, it's not going to be until lunch or so. Anyway, if I have to go out of town to, say, watch my son play baseball or go to a dance competition with my daughter, or if I, whatever I have going on, I try not to ever cancel class, but that just worked best for me on a Friday. If you normally sign up with me, let me know. If you normally sign up with Sam, which means you're a SOWEGA Council on Aging senior, then sign up with Sam. If you want to sign up with me and you're a Sam person, we can do that. So anyway, that's just that information, just so we know as this one wraps up, we're still going to be doing Tai Chi. So let's get ourselves started with warming up, and we will go through and practice our part one moves. Any questions that y'all may have, let me know. Any clarifications you may need to these movements, because I know the more that we do these movements, if you're doing learning right, the more you do, the more you realize you don't know, right? And you learn it the first time I teach you about it, and then you're practicing, and then you're going, well, wait a minute, is that foot right? Am I doing that right? And so just ask questions for clarifications. I try to give you good instructions and anticipate any kind of question that you may have. But I'm here for you. And don't think that just because I taught it to you one time that you're expected to know it. So don't be ashamed to ask for any clarifications. Sometimes I may say something wrong and confuse you. So I won't mean to, but sometimes the wrong words will come out of my mouth. So call me out on it, y'all. Let's get to our stable stance where we have good upright posture. Even though I'm very strong in the way I'm holding my body, I'm relaxed. I'm not holding any tension in my shoulders. My major joints have a soft bend to them. My knees and my elbows, I mean, even my hands, they're just hanging loosely. Not holding any tension. And if I recognize any tension, then I'm letting it go. Sometimes I'll catch myself clenching my teeth, and so my jaws will be kind of tense. So recognize those things and let that tension go, because if we hold in tension somewhere, that can cause us pain, and that's what we want to get away from. We're breathing, inhaling and exhaling, completely filling and emptying our lungs with air. Let's begin starting with our neck. So we do 2 for our neck, 2 for our shoulders, 2 for our spine, our hips, our knees and ankle. Every time we go from neck to ankle, warming up our major joints. And so even on days you may not be practicing Tai Chi, you can do these warm-up movements just to get your body ready for the day. Some mornings I get up out of bed and like, oh my gosh, my hips will be hurting or my knee might be hurting. Lately it just seems like my hips have just been so tight when I get up. And so when you wake up and you have that tension or that stiffness in your joints, and you may read that as pain, because it doesn't feel good when you're stiff. It does kind of hurt. And so in those moments, you have a decision to make. You can lay back down and just say, I'm hurting. I'm not going to do anything today. I'm just going to lay down. Or you can get up and start moving. Every time I get up and start moving, because I don't have a choice. I got to get up. But every time I get up and start moving, those joints loosen up. That stiffness goes away. And these movements right here are great ones to do every single day, because it's going through your whole body and of your major joints, and just getting them warmed up and ready for movement. They're slow, and easy and gentle. Turn on some slow music if you have the Tai Chi music, whether on Spotify or on a CD. Maybe you listen to them online. Any slow moving exercise or slow moving music. For our spine. Doesn't that feel good to stretch that spine? Take your time. Remember gentle resistance, and what that is like moving through heavy air. And that helps you slow down when you feel like the air is heavy and you're having to push through that heavy air. Side to side, warming up our spine horizontally. I like to think about waving hands in clouds when I'm doing this warm-up movement. Dr. Lamb does a great job in designing this program where it's progressive. It builds on what we know, and it prepares us for what's ahead. So this movement right here prepares us for waving hands in clouds. Now to our lower body, starting with our hips. Shifting weight, heel, pause, and toe. Reminding you to breathe. This gets a little challenging holding weight on one leg. And when we are challenged physically, sometimes we hold our breath. Let me answer my daughter. Y'all know they never remember that when I have class. Doesn't matter, I've been doing this for 4 months. All right, other leg. I said, I'll call you back. She said, yes, ma'am. I said, I'm in class. She said, oops, I'm sorry. It's just gossip. That's funny. I might have to cancel class, y'all. I'm just... going side to side. And sometimes this is difficult to stay slow on because it extra challenges those muscles when you do it slowly. People don't realize that going slow is more difficult than going fast. And so don't try to make it easy for yourself by speeding up. However, if you're speeding up because you're afraid that you're going to fall, instead of speeding up, do this. Grab your chair, skip that hand movement, rely on your chair, and shift the weight and tap out. So right now I'm relying on that chair, kind of like a walker or a crutch, or this is my helps keep me from falling. So it's more important for you to fully do this weight shifting as in that slow, smooth, continuous manner than the hand movement. The hand movement makes it Tai Chi. It has that feel of Tai Chi as we scoop and shift and the hand stays within our frame. But what's the most important thing there is hips, warming up those hips, so not the arm movement. So always give yourself permission to modify and do what's going to serve your body best. First and foremost is safety. We don't want you to fall. All right, next is our knees. We have our loose fists, more weight shifting, lift, tap, and punch. And so the foot that taps out is opposite of the hand that's punching. Now your brain doesn't want you to do the opposite. Your brain wants you to do the same side. But challenge your brain to do this cross-lateral movement. And that's one thing about Tai Chi that challenges our brain by doing many movements in our series of movements that are cross-lateral movements. So if you feel yourself like, I'm doing it all wrong, I'm always, doing the wrong hand, it's not your fault. Your brain is trying to make it make sense. It's not wanting to be challenged, but it's good for your brain to be challenged. That's why people do crossword puzzles and, to challenge their brain. One thing that we do at my house is play the board game Clue, which is like, that game's been around for I don't even know how long. But it challenges your brain to think, and that's good for us. So now we're stepping out, shifting weight. Remember, keep both feet flat on the floor as you shift the weight. And then another thing is not to go too far forward that your knee goes beyond your toe, because that can hurt your knee. It's hard to keep things small. Our bodies want to do everything big. Our brain's like, oh, if you do it more, then it's going to be better. But that's not the case. Now for our ankles, heel toe. Come back, and other foot, heel toe. Reducing that tension in our ankle joint. And I've told y'all before, I have good and bad weeks with my ankles. This is a good week for my ankles. It seems to be a bad week for my hips. And so y'all may experience that too. You may have different joints that are bothering you different days or weeks. It could be based on the activity that you have done. That's put more wear and tear on those joints. Our bodies just, we hard on them, and they react to that. But we're better for it, I think. So I keep telling myself, I'm better for this. All right, give yourself a good old shake. And now we are ready to do our series of movements. I'm moving these chairs not because they're in my way, but they mess with my energy. It just feels like they're in my way. All right, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to just call out the names of the movement. Okay, so we're going to do basic 6 and advanced 6 all the way through. We're in our stable stance. We're breathing. I like to think about my principles at this point. I can pick a principle to focus on. So we can focus on slow, smooth, and continuous. So throughout the movement, we're thinking slow, smooth, and continuous. Okay? Here we go. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. If you feel yourself speed up a little bit, just remind yourself, slow, smooth, and continuous. Even slower than usual. We're going to really feel that movement control and slow pace. Waving hands in clouds.
Yeah.
Open, close. That's our basic 6. Let's continue thinking about slow, smooth, and continuous through our advanced 6, starting with brush knee. Not in a hurry. Play the lute. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the lute. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. I think that's the slowest I have ever done that series of movements. But my focus was slow, smooth, and continuous. And so now we're going to do those movements, but practice gentle resistance. Now, what is gentle resistance? That is moving as if the air is heavy. What I want you to remember, because I've gone wrong with this in the past, is gentle. Okay, so our air isn't heavy. Our air isn't concrete. You know, we're not really like, it's not that kind of resistance. It's gentle resistance. So, I mean, we're working always against gravity. And so gravity is what makes us have a weight, right? And so it's a little bit more than that gravity. So as we come up with commencement, there's that little extra bit of effort, like a gentle resistance moving through thick or heavy air. All right, so let's go through our movements. This time, our focus is gentle resistance. Now, I find that when I focus on gentle resistance, slow, smooth, and continuous happens because it takes more time to go through heavy air. So, you know, we're like I told you last week, we're going to go through all these movements with just focusing on one principle at the time. So, gentle resistance. Remember that word, gentle. All right, from the top. And commence. Open, close. Single whip.
Yeah. Right hand go on the left. Go to the
Waving
in
hands and
and
clap.
out. Let go. Slip it. Right. Let go. Pick up. Left. Right.
Open, close.
Put together right. Open.
Single whip.
Left hand go on the right. In and out.
Waving hands and claps.
Right. Left. Go. Right. Slowly. Open, close.
Gentle resistance, like we're pulling and pushing that accordion.
Repeat.
Advance 6. Continuing with gentle resistance. Brush knee. Play the loop.
Look, play the loop. Look. Very good.
Parry punch.
This is.
Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open and close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Parry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. close it out. So I really struggle with that word gentle. If I'm going into my thinking about resistance, I tend to really go into resistance. So I gave y'all the warning to remind yourself to stay gentle. And then as I was doing it, I noticed that I was going a little harder. Like my air was really heavy. And what did I feel then was tension. So I had to back off on that resistance a little bit. Okay? What's good about that is that I recognized it. I had body awareness to recognize that I was pushing and adding tension, not just moving through heavy air. And so I want y'all to start learning body awareness and having that recognize when you're maybe doing too much and then be able to back off a little bit. But I do. Every time I have that focus of gentle resistance, I will feel myself going, adding tension and just going full resistance. I struggle with that gentle resistance. I mean, I'm like tensing up my muscles, like I'm really pushing through something. So body awareness, that's a good thing. It's not so much that I was adding too much, but the good thing is I recognized it and released some of that tension. So those two, slow, smooth, and continuous, and gentle resistance, are our principles under our movement control. Okay, so how we move our bodies through our series of movements. Our next principle that we're going to focus on is upright posture. Now, used to I would have more of a bad habit of rolling my shoulders forward. Specifically, if I raise my hands, sometimes tension will grab and then I won't have that relaxed upright posture that we should have throughout our movements. Again, this goes into body awareness and recognizing when you start doing it, incorrectly, or setting your body up for pain or other problems. So what we want to do is have upright posture. It's like a string that pulls up and down at the same time. We have that good upright posture, but our shoulders are relaxed. So all the way through, we want to keep upright posture. When are some moments that I find that my posture has a tendency to want to not be upright? It's when I extend my hands out and I shift weight forward. So our advanced movements. So whenever I complete that brush knee movement and I'm pushing that hand forward and shifting weight at the same time, my body wants to go with it. It wants to go like this.
Just let it go.
Because our Tai Chi is a martial art. It's a fight we're never going to have, right? And so if it were a fight we were having and I was going at somebody, you bet I would put my whole body into that attack movement. But we're not fighting anybody. And in our principles, we keep an upright posture. So this is when I have to have ultimate body awareness to remind myself to keep my body upright as I shift that weight and extend that arm. Not so much whenever I'm coming back with my weight. It's when I go forward with the arm extension. So here on push the tiger, right? I got to make sure I'm keeping my body upright, and it's the arms that extend, right? Okay, so now we're going to go through our part one movements. thinking about upright posture. So I went on and gave you some examples of when my body tends to want to lean, but remind yourself, upright posture, and the arms are extensions of your body. You're not going with the arms. Upright, extend those arms out, back in. Okay, here we go. From the top. Upright posture, focus. Here we go, and commence. Open, close. Single whip.
Inhale.
Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip.
Open.
Hands in clouds.
In and out, left foot. Into the left. Something here around make a circle.
Open, close.
What will be brush knee.
Brush knee. Upright posture. Pretending I have a stack of books on my head. That's how good my posture is.
This.
Single, or play the lute, sorry. Hairy punch.
What you doing it? Yes.
Lock and close. Ooh, I feel that extra good posture this time. Push the tiger. It's amazing when you focus on one thing, it gets better. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the lute. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger.
Hey.
Open, close. Close it out. So maybe you felt like you had a lot better posture that time, just thinking about it. Now, I said during the series of movements, I have a stack of books on my head, so that helped me kind of straighten up and have that posture. But one way that you can kind of reset your posture is that shoulder circle that we do at the beginning. So before you get started, you might want to roll those shoulders forward and then roll them back. You see how rolling those shoulders back makes your posture better. So if you're ever kind of unsure of where your posture is, do that roll the shoulders thing. Roll forward first and then back. If you ever have been sitting down in a comfy chair for a long time, our posture seems to suffer whenever we're kind of comfy and relaxed. So when you get finished doing that, do a quick shoulder circle forward and back, and that will help reset your posture. All right, next, and to me, I'm probably not supposed to say the most important because all of our principles are important. However, when it comes to falls prevention, this weight transfer principle is gold because we are training ourselves to hold our weight on one leg. We move slow, smooth, and continuous. Therefore, weight is on one leg longer than if we were moving faster. We empty step. So whenever we step, we don't immediately give it weight. And what that does is it keeps weight on one leg longer. And when we're able to hold weight on one leg a long time, that muscle's strong. When that muscle is strong, we are less likely to fall. So that's why I have to kind of pick weight transfer as like such an important tool in our principles for falls prevention. It is how we get our muscles strong, by relying on one leg to hold our weight. If our muscle's not strong, it's not going to be able to do it. If your muscle's not there yet, what can we do? Well, we can start from a seated position and push those feet into the floor, and that starts to engage muscle. Then you can stand up, relying on your chair, and just shifting weight from one leg to the other, not even lifting a foot off the floor. There's my imaginary chair, and I'm just shifting weight. One leg, and then shifting weight to the other leg. And then I build on that. I can even go into a staggered stance, and I can shift weight front and back. All right, upright posture. I needed to maintain an upright posture with that weight shift. So none of the principles disappear even when we're just focusing on one. So we can go into a staggered stance and weight shift front and back. Switch to the other side where the other leg's front and back. And you're just practicing weight transfer holding onto a chair. Then progress to even holding onto the chair. Shift the weight, lift the foot, put it down. Shift, lift the foot. You don't have to lift it very high, right? Just lift it off the ground. When you're ready, tapping that foot out. These are our warm-up moves, but it's our first practice at weight transfer. So that's where that foundation begins. As we get stronger, then we're more able to do the moves of our Tai Chi series. So now when we go through our movements, let's think about weight transfer. Think about complete weight transfer to one leg. And when we place a foot, it's empty. There's no weight there. Then give it weight. Completely give it weight. We bring that foot forward. It's empty. Then we give it weight. So with each step is immediately empty. Now, remember, and I say it over and over, safety trumps everything. So if you can't empty step without really feeling like you're going to fall, go ahead and give it weight. But sometimes that foot is the next step, so you have to remove the weight off of it before you step. And that's true in our advanced 6 movements. So whatever you need to do for safety, do that. But we're practicing principles here. So we're going to practice weight transfer with that empty step all the way through our series of movements. All right, here we go. So y'all are going to be really tired after class today because we're really working our bodies with our movements. All right, weight transfer and empty step. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Advance 6. Weight transfer. A lot happening here. Brush knee. Play the loop. Parry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Empty step. Then the weight transfer. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Parry punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. So that should have been very challenging to really stop and realize, what are you doing? Because I bet you a lot of the times you're putting that foot and going ahead and weight and transferring that weight. So it's a challenge to empty step, then transfer the weight. So upright posture and then that weight transfer are our principles that follow under body structure. So we have our movement control and our body structure principles. So those are what we've practiced. Those are the ones that are kind of easier for us to grasp because they're physical. It's something that we are doing. Our final category of our principles are internal principles. When you get your t-shirt, on the back it has our principles. It does not include our internal principles. The first internal principle is called song. S-O-N-G. And I'm not real sure why I didn't include it on the back of our shirts. I think it's because if I put song or open joints, that's, you kind of have to be in the class to understand what that is. The others you can understand without coming to class. And one thing about that shirt is, yes, I want you to be proud that you earned it and that you wear it, but it's kind of a promotion for the class. As you wear it and people read it, and it might sell them on wanting to sign up. But if you start putting the internal stuff, I think sometimes we lose people. So don't get lost on me here. A song, S-O-N-G, is an open joint. And it goes along with the softness of our movements, right? So we don't lock our joints. A locked joint isn't very gentle, and gentle is in our principle. If we lock a joint, then that doesn't allow energy to flow. And energy is the life energy that is in our bodies. It's what makes our body have life. We know that when we exercise, it makes us feel good. It makes us feel better. And that's that life energy. And so by having open joints or not locked joints, it allows energy to flow. So there are a few places that we really focus on with our open joints. One is our elbows, right? So we don't lock our elbows. When we have extended arms, we're not locked like Frankenstein. With our knees, we have a soft bend in those knees. We're not locked and standing straight up. We have a soft bend in them. Also, when our arms are extended away from our bodies, we're thinking about this joint right here, this shoulder joint, and we're holding our arms away from our bodies, and I'll talk about how our armpits need to breathe. So we can have our arms closed and our elbows bent, but our shoulders aren't open, but we're here and our shoulders are open. So that allows energy to flow. So the knees are pretty, having that soft bend in our knee, that's easy to understand. But sometimes our hips are kind of hard to open. And so whenever I open my hips, I take the my pinky toes and like grab the floor with my pinky toes. And I feel my hips open. That's a little harder to do as we are moving. But just know we want open joints for energy to flow, not locked joints. Okay? So now I want us to go through this movement, and I just want us to recognize that we're not locking our knees and our elbows. And maybe you can think about that armpit. Making sure your arms are away from our body and not down, and closed our armpits. So let's experience that internal open joints. All right, here we go. And begin. Open, close, single whip. Waving hands in clouds. A good opportunity for our armpits to breathe. Open, close, single whip. Waving hands in clouds. I feel myself going a little bit fast because I know it's getting close to 10. Again, body awareness. We want to be thankful for everything we notice in our bodies. That's a gift. Brush knee. When we notice it, we can make the adjustment. If we don't notice it, then we're potentially doing things that we're not supposed to. Very punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee.
You value now.
Play the loop. Parry punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Close it out. So don't you think that one was a little bit more challenging to open our joints and have song joints? So the internal experiences are a next level. We're not going to do it today. We'll do it next week. We'll start at the bottom. I say the bottom, but what we worked on last today, we'll start there next week and go back up to slow, smooth, and continuous. But we have one more internal experience, and that is Jing, and that is mental quietness. Now, it's kind of hard to experience that in class because I talk a lot, as I should. I'm your instructor. But to be quiet and just enjoy the movements and just be in the moment doing all the principles, but letting your mind be quiet. That comes with fully knowing your movements. You cannot stop all that thinking until you know it so well that your body just does it without even thinking. And that comes with practice and time. And that's why staying in this class is never a bad thing, because you get better and you build on your knowledge and experience with principle. All right, gather tension. Let it go. It feels so much better to let it go. Gather, release. One more, gather and release. Shoulder circle. Our warm-ups and our cool-downs, we still use principle. We have our right fist representing our strength, our left fingers all together representing our friendship, and our thumb in our humility. We put those together, and in mutual respect, we say namaste.
Namaste.
Great job, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed going through our movements and one principle at a time. I love doing it like this. So week 14, check. 2 more to go. And so I'll see you next week. I hope you have a great week. If you need me, I may be out of pocket this week. But I'll be here tomorrow, and then I'll be back Monday. So y'all let me know if I can do anything for you, okay?
Hey, happy
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
All right, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Love y'all.
Love you
No,
too.
thank
y'all.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.